Hey everybody, Stippling Vaughn, and I am back with another crowd-funded book review. This time is Andy Smith's First Man. Now, this is the second book that he's crowdfunded. He did a book last year, so he's doing one per year. It's a very good track record for a crowd-funded book. So we're going to go through this. Now, I'm going to, if I don't like to give spoilers. For starters, Andy Smith's First Man is still available on demand through Indiegogo, which means that if you like this book, you can order it from him and it'll be shipped out immediately to you. So as a result, I'm not going to be doing what people call a deep dive. I'm not going to be going in and with a great detail of the book. I don't want to give anything away. That would be robbing money from Andy. But I do want to do a review. Okay? So this is the book, and I backed it so that I got all the goodies, such as the sticker, postcard, one sheet poster, and the bookmark. I have them inside the book. Okay, like this is the metal bookmarker, and but we're going to go through the book and show you guys some stuff. I liked the story a lot. For starters, one thing I liked a lot, and this is actually on the campaign page, so I'm not giving anything away. But here's the metal bookmarker, and it's got some stiffness to it. I mean, it's not a. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably bend this, but I don't want to. But I mean, it's nice. It's a metal bookmarker of Penumbra. So, but no, it goes right into First Man. He's being the hero, but he's making mistakes. He is young. He is raw. He has literally just finished beating. Oh God, beat him to the depths of space. Yeah, that guy. So he is making mistakes. One thing I really liked, which I can tell right off the bat, is it's a father-son book. We don't ever even see the mother. We don't even know if the mother's in the picture. So it's definitely a father-son story. What's really nice about it is his First Man. He is just a kid. He's just a college kid, and you get right off the bat the feeling just from the posters in his room and how he is. He's like a bit of a Spider-Man, Peter Parker type of character. So right off the bat, his dad, okay, his dad is the Uncle Ben character, the the person that raised him and gave him the morals and values that makes him pretty much worthy to become a superhero. You think about it, he's all of a sudden has the body of a superhero. He doesn't have to listen to his father, but he was raised right. So he will listen to his father. And his father can still show knowledge and authority over him. And it's completely demonstrated in these 2 pages. Which is nice. Main reason being is because we don't get to see, we never, right off the bat, anybody who knows Spider-Man knows that Uncle Ben was a guiding force in Peter's life. But we never really got to see that. Yeah, over the years, over the 40, 50 years of Spider-Man, yeah, we've seen how through flashbacks or whatnot in various stories we get seen, but we never really, as introduced to Spider-Man, never really got to see him being influenced and showing how Uncle Ben was such a big influence on him before he became a superhero, or even after. He had to learn the lessons the hard way, and so it's nice and kind of refreshing that you have an Uncle Ben style character guiding him through life and acknowledging the fact that he is a superhero, but first and foremost, it's his son. And so, when we get to the next page, or to the bottom of this page, we are introduced, and here it goes, there's the skyscraper, the Boxster building. I think Buxter building, maybe. And right off the bat, as soon as you read that, you know that this is going to be a takeoff on Fantastic Four. So, right again, it shows Andy Smith's love for Marvel superheroes. And even with these characters, and I'll show at the end, he's got a logo, uh, Fantastic Four style logo for the Fourth World. And we are introduced right off the bat. And again, right off the bat, 4 characters. Look at these 4 people. But I mean, here's your Mr. Fantastic. Here's your Susan Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. And really, you take a look. They do have that dynamic of the Fantastic Four, but at the same time, also what I really like is you see how, yeah, it's First Man, but it's more than just First Man. It's still an insecure boy underneath this heroic body. And so I do like the fact that you do get that sense of it from it. Now, the biggest strength of this book for me was, and this is something that you see a lot. You see a lot when you look at. Doesn't matter whether you're looking at George Perez, Andy Smith, John Byrne, Graham Nolan, anybody. Okay, anybody who's done a monthly book. Okay, because of the deadlines, many times all the faces look relatively the same. Okay, it's really, and you can see in phases with many artists as they go through their career, they get better at doing a variety of faces, but they really have like 4 to 5 faces, like canned, like almost like a canned response, a canned face. They're like, oh, I have to do a background scene. Okay, I'm gonna draw 5 people, and there's 5 different faces. Oh, we gotta draw a different crowd scene. Okay, we'll draw 5 whole new people, but the faces are exactly the same. You look at almost any artist, they've all done that. They've all gone through that. This is nothing against any artist. It's just something that it's a trick of their trade from having to do a monthly book and having to crank these pages out. And I will show you examples throughout this book without trying to give away too much of the story. But if you take a look, you can really see where Andy is really expanding his means of putting different faces in, so the faces always have a unique look and feel. Part of that problem is, I know part of that is because he had the ability to in his crowdfunding, you could buy yourself into the book. But I know that he had more faces in this book than he had slots. So he definitely was doing more faces than what he'd been awarded in the campaign, which is a great thing that I'm seeing, and I like that. And really, it shows how Andy has the time now to really expand upon his artistic abilities. But again, like I said, you can see again, he's able to give these faces a distinct look to the character themselves. And then we go into the main villain, the Adonis, which I looked at right off the bat when I realized that this is essentially is a Amazo, which Amazo from DC, that was a great villain for the Justice League. Always was popping up. It's almost like many times throughout the history of the Justice League, whenever they wanted to have a reboot of the Justice League, many times within that reboot, they would always have the Amazo robot fight them, which was a great adversary because it could mimic their abilities completely. So it really pushed them to how can they fight this robot. Sorry about the glare, guys. How can he fight this robot who can duplicate the powers immediately? And it pushes them that what makes a hero isn't the powers, it's what's inside. So again, when we have this character, and like I was saying, how like this is a boy in a superhero male adult body, and he's still trying to figure things out. He's learning that it's him that makes him worthy of being a superhero, not the powers or the adult body. And again, I'm showing you these pages in sequential order by flipping page by page because we're not at the point of giving anything away really. And again, reinforcing how his dad is his Uncle Ben and his guiding force, kind of like a Jiminy Cricket character. Now, this next page, you could say, I would say maybe a criticism. And the next page, again, here's a perfect example. Okay. I don't know if somebody bought their way in or whether he just did that, but look how that face, okay, is completely different than a normal canned response or a canned face in there. Okay. That's awesome. I love that. And that's one of the first things I spotted when I came across this page was, oh, wait a second. That's a real face he used. And that's a great thing. And then another one of the bonuses with a stretch goal was this die cut sticker. Here's where I see it a lot these days, and it's almost, we've gotten to the point where we're almost programmed that lots of times these days an image like this of him floating over Earth, many times the colorist will just photostat in an image of the Earth in there. And like I said, maybe it's because we've gotten to the point that we've become accustomed to that in comic books. I was almost expecting that. I'm not putting him down for him doing the United States. He did a great job. I'm just saying that we as fans have become accustomed to seeing that type of thing. Now we're skipping ahead now because I don't want to give anything away. But we're skipping to here. Now I didn't want to jump. There was one page I wanted to show you, but it kind of gives something away. But he has an image where Luke answers the door, and he's wearing a Compass Comics t-shirt, which I thought was neat. How with him and Graham being close friends, how he got permission from Graham to put the Compass Comics logo on the shirt. Now here's another stretch goal postcard, double-sided, with information about Apollo and Penumbra. Okay, so again, you take a look here at this page here. This is the main one I want to focus on. Okay, you've got a variety of different faces. Okay, each one is unique. And then the last page I want to show you guys is this one here. Here's the one sheet poster. Very nice. And then this is the last shot. Okay. One thing that was really, I didn't want to show it to you guys because I want you guys to go out and buy it. But he has a great sequence initially with First Man fighting the Adonis. And it was very good. He was really quick and fast with the timing in the fight, but at the same time also good with his storytelling. And again, we can see here how we have all the different faces. Okay, and you can see where each face is unique. Okay, I enjoyed this book a lot. And then lastly also, he did his Hostess ad parody, but then he has his Marvel style handbook entries, which I did like because he's got to draw, which I think is very smart. He had to create and draw up shots of what these characters would look like, so why not reuse them in the back of the book with the pages? and he did one on all the characters. This was Jack Burnley, who would be your Johnny Storm character. This is your Benjamin Rochester. I liked him. I hope that if when Andy Smith does the next book, he does something more with him. He was definitely a Ben Grimm type of character. I would like to see more from him. Whether he gets superpowers or not, I don't know. But then lastly, you've got Claire Temple here and Dearborn Drummond. And like I said, these guys, you can tell that these were the drawings he did to figure things out, to give the characters the look that he wanted. And he put them in the back of the book. And this is also really important that anybody doing crowdfunding, when you do a book, put extra stuff in the back of your book. And the reason why I encourage everybody to do that, okay, is if Andy has the opportunity for him to be able to get this reprinted, and he's got enough material. It'd be 2 issues here, and he had enough material for the first 2 issues. That if he can get First Man reprinted as a mini series and like with cheaper paper, and so it costs him less. If he can get these mass produced to be out in comic book stores, all the power to him. And I encourage anybody who's doing a crowdfunding book to put this extra stuff in the back, so that way you have the potential to reproduce this, and these books will have more value because you're giving the backers more. So I know that Andy has discussed that he may not do a 3rd book right now. He might be doing another one. He mentioned last time I heard him talking about it, he was discussing he might be working on a new idea, and the idea is a 1970s private detective that gets transported through time to modern day era, and he drives a Barracuda. And so I think he might be calling the book Barracuda because of that. If he does a book like that, I would hope that he doesn't change his style from the 70s to modern day. The only thing I'd say, if he wants to get a greater feel of this artwork from when the characters in the 70s versus now, I would say for him to leave his style alone, just use in the 70s, use flatter colors, how the color print process used to be back then, along with using Zipatone screens. These days you'd use it on the computer, but really pick out and throw in Zipatone screens. Zipatone was really used a lot, along with these much more flatter colors. So the example I'd give you with that would actually, you know what, I'm going to use my own personal book. This is my own book. It's called Scat Investigators. It's my ash can. If you want it, you can contact me through Twitter or through Facebook. In Twitter, it's under Stippling Vaughn. In Facebook, it's under Vaughn Noel. So I want to use one of my pages here to explain this, okay? So the example I'll give you is, we're going to pull in close. And you see how this page here, do you see how I utilized just almost like just much darker here, a tone up here, okay? These are almost done like Zipatone screens, okay? Another example is this panel right here, okay? I wanted to show foliage in the background behind these guys. So I used different tones of stippling, but you do it in the 70s and the 80s, you would have done it with, they would just do an outline of the foliage, and then they would have used three different Zipiton screens to create that in the book. So that's the only thing I would suggest if he does do his idea of uh, a story of let's get that back up. If he does his Barracuda story to tell the difference between the character being in the 70s versus the modern day, whether he does it in the 2000s, would be to do it that way, is to do with flat tones and Zipatone screens for the 70s and use the modern day coloring, computer coloring for modern day area. I think it would be a very nice way to show transition between the two eras without you being without having to change your art style at all, which I know for many artists that's not an easy thing to do. So I hope you like this. Please hit the like, subscribe, feel free to leave a comment. And like I said, if you are interested in my Ashcan book, which has 8 pages of sequential art and then 4 character sketches or character portraits in the back of it, it is $5 for the book and $5 shipping. And like I said, you can direct message me through Twitter or on Facebook. Under Twitter is Stippling Vaughn, and Facebook is Vaughn Noel. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. The next book I am doing, which I'll do a review on, is Battle Brick Road. But until then, remember, life is stressful, so just take life one dot at a time.